Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness. Got a few people in here. This is awesome. Okay, hey Matt Villain, what's up? Hi MDH1970. Yay, you're here. Lots of love from Saskatchewan. Thank you, I appreciate that. Don't feed the gardening trolls. Hi Meatball. Let me see. Hi Samantha. Yes, Meatball. Yeah, you can call her Meatball too. I give you permission. Let me see. We've got hi Tawny C. Hi Kat. Don't apologize. No, that's okay. I'm glad that you're here. Let me see who else. And Tom Cooper, thank you so much for being here. Hello, hello. Annie Kurtz, hi. And who else? Hi Chris Walski. Hello. Is there a buzzing sound? Do you hear a buzzing sound? Tell me. Hi Don Lambert. Time to fight the demons. Is something up with the sound? What's up with the sound? Oh no. Hold on. Buzzing sound. Dang. Is it better now? Is that better? Hi, Carl Hassel and Angelo Koss 1. Buzz. Uh-oh. It's terrible. Oh no, hold on. Let me try it again. Hold on. Okay, is it better? Crap. I muted it. That's why it went away. Hi, Soil Lodge. Damn it. What's going on? Crap. Sorry, guys. I have no idea what's happening. Oh no. Oh no, what do I do? Okay, I guess, I don't know. I can't end the stream, right? Shucks. Okay, I'm going to, is it my fan? Let me see if it's my fan. Hold on, guys. Let me see if that's what it is. Hold on. Okay, is that it? Please tell me that it's better. Please, for the love of everything holy. I'm sorry that it's effing terrible. Is it better? Damn it! Ugh, this is so embarrassing. It's worse. Hold on. Is that better? Oh, guys, thank you for being patient with me. I'm so sorry. This is super embarrassing. Let me refresh the whole stream and see if it does it. Let's see what happens. Am I back? And is it bad? A cricket on meth? I don't want to do a show like a cricket on meth. Is it better? Yay, I fixed it. Yay, and I'm not even like an IT person. Woo! Is it gone? Good? Hey, hey, Havana syndrome. Holla, holla. All right, we fixed it, guys. Thank you for being patient. I really appreciate it. It's good? Blessings. Okay, so, um, I am going to hi, okay, I said hi, Angel Cost, Jason Urine. Sorry this has ever happened before, but thank you guys so much for your help. Hey, Jay Snyder, we're 100. We won hundo. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna run a different intro this time. Hey, Turkle Tom. I'm going to run a different one. Hi, Coop Films. You missed the sound drama. Because, the Son of Sam folks have really come out of the woodwork, and I've heard
Just like the craziest thing, I don't believe that it's true. I'm just gonna let you guys know right now. But I have had 4 people, separate people that have no ties to each other, make the insinuation that it's going through the rumor mill that apparently some of this research is why David Berkowitz apparently like recanted some statement. I don't believe that. These are just the things that I'm being told. It's completely silly. So we're gonna run a different intro, just because I feel like doing it. So BRB.
Motherfuckers really wanna see me dead and shit. Motherfuckers really wanna see me leaking and shit. I don't give a rolling up that Mary Jane, ain't a damn thing changed, but my motherfucking dollars, be faces be all around me though. What you talking about when you saying my name? Bitch, I came a long way from the fucking underground. Sip to you, cause I know it's sip to me. Been me drowning in a whole liter of the Hennessy. Coming out the dirt, looking zombie, smoking all up on the perk. Yeah, I love my God G. Used to find the pills, now I'm chasing thrills on the road to riches. Don't fuck around and get yourself killed for real. Crack a seal, crack a pill. Crackers love me cause I'm real. Hello, white America is blocked with the stainless steel. RP, PAT, I got lots of ghetto dreams, but I probably make it out the trap before they finish me. Pray to God every day, tell him save me from this place. Shit is dark and hell is hot. Have I paid for my mistakes? Niggas probably love me when rigor mortis inside my body. I live like Cardi, it's falling off of the face of mommy. The devil want me, my government name what he be calling. Don't bend no break, this ain't Treyway, but nigga I feel like Shotty. 6 feet in the ground, I'm still trying to make it up out the dirt. Counting friends I lost in blue faces until my fingers hurt. Psycho dad and OG Bin Laden gon' help me with my nerve. Bitches plotting all cause I'm popping, but fuck it, let them twerk.
Apparently, we're also fighting digital demons. Was that entire thing mirrored? Because this is so embarrassing if that is the case. Like, what's going on with my laptop? What's going on with my life? You know what I mean? Thanks. It's fun. I had to add best friends in there, man. I was like, I've waited long enough. It's time to bring them in. So let me see. Oh, hi, Echo Cat. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you, Tony C. So, I want to show you guys because when we were going through the court records, remember we saw like all those weird names. Francis Huxley, Julian Huxley's, I think like his son, right? So I went back through because Sister Mercedes Leah ends up being Mother Mercedes, who she matches one of the sketches from, one of the Son of Sam shootings, like, straight up, like, she literally matches one of them. Um, Someone had, sent me a compilation of the photos, and they were like, "What do you think?" And obviously, I asked Virginia's opinion, and she's in agreeance with me, but I was going back through because I wasn't sure where I got that name, Justine Glass, and now I know where I got it from. Justine Glass was a very famous witch. And then I decided to see what Mr. Francis Huxley was doing at the time. And what Mr. Francis Huxley was doing at the time is he was being funded by the Parapsychology Research Institute of New York. And you guys are going to see all this weird stuff because it's astute to remember that we're not just looking at the process, we're looking at the bigger picture. You know what I mean? So I want to look at everything that's going on and everything that could have contributed to the situation because like, I don't care about the forensics of Son of Sam. I don't care about, like, the particulars. I care about the victims specifically. That's what matters, right? But I don't care about, like, the little nitty-gritty forensic details. Don't care. Completely irrelevant to me. But I think that you guys are gonna see specifically what I'm talking about. How in the hell is the process in communication with some of these people? And then I wanna show you guys I had talked about it a long time ago when we first started the process, and it was that book, Satan's Lodge, right? And it was talking about how, like, the process contributed to satanic ritual abuse within the Catholic Church. But I decided to go ahead and look through it because I was just digging through stuff. And, well, now that we know what they were doing with their Jesus freak stuff, with their Jesus people stuff, and I went and looked in the newspaper archives and the guy that they're talking about, and this dude cites his book to the teeth, and it's legitimate. I'm going to show you guys because I believe these victims, and a lot of these victims decided to remain anonymous. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I think that a lot of this stuff is pretty relevant. And I also, because a couple of people had asked me to look into Kenneth McNaughton specifically. So I want to show you guys because I found one of the companies that he owned, and you're going to see on the right side of the screen just a bunch of clippings from the court records because yeah, Kenneth McNaughton is super sus. Father Dominic, Father Luther, he was literally the one that was like reaching out to Francis Huxley. It was Mother Mercedes reaching out to the witch, and then it was Dominic Luther reaching out to everybody else. Everybody else. But I just want you guys to understand, for those who didn't watch the stuff with the court records, I don't encourage it. It was very tedious, and it was a great day of celebration when we were done. So let me pull this up real quick. Okay. And this is him. So don't scroll. Okay, so this was originally the only photo that I had, right? And then this, so the industrial physicist, that part was sent to me. I went into Hathy Trust and looked up his name, and this does look like it checks out. And I do think that that looks like him, like straight up. I think that that looks like him 100%. Yeah. So this is the company that I found that he owned, Strathern Chemist Limited. Uh, Seemed to be a very smart man, very intelligent. Yeah. However, back when we were going through all these court records, guys, he was reaching out to everybody. Everybody. He says we at the process have a great interest in witchcraft and magic. Yeah, reaching out for brainwashing, having a meeting about brainwashing. He reached out to Dr. Cezanto, which eventually we're going to come back and talk about Dr. Cezanto because Dr. Cezanto is involved in like radiation stuff, straight up, like Nazi stuff. Dr. Cezanto is next level dark. And then over here, who else? He was the one that wrote to Dick Van Dyke. Eclipse of God, the pathway to superconsciousness, the magic of the Mayas, the four horsemen of the apocalypse, interplanetary witchcraft. And don't forget the need to kill your parents. Yeah, you guys remember when we read that? It feels like so long ago. But that's what we have here. All right, so let me stop sharing that screen and let me get to the next slide because I want to show you guys. Dude, like you think that Julian Huxley is super sus, right? If you know who Julian Huxley is, and we talked about him a long time ago, his brother is so much worse, or his son is so much worse, in my opinion, because yeah, it's his son. The dude's a complete nightmare. So I'm gonna show you guys one, two, three. Yeah, three people that he wrote to, because one of them looks like a big wig sort of publishing guy. The stuff that Julian Huxley was doing is just completely stupid to me. And then you guys are going to see them using the word Soma, him and his brother specifically, talking about getting legislation passed. So remember how we talked about, are they narrating things, right? Are they letting us know what they're going to do? Yeah, that's what they're doing. All right, let me see who popped in really quick. Hey, David Tooley, what's up? Let me see. I am good, just not everyone's standards. Okay. Mother Mercedes. Yeah, I want to know who this chick is, man. If anybody knows any like good facial recognition, I only have 3 pictures of her, but seriously, I want to know who the hell she is because she's super sus and she's pretty unfortunate looking, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but I want to know who she is because she's always stuck out to me because I'm like, Flavia, that's like such a weird name. And I had remembered that she had written to somebody weird, and I'm glad that I took the time to go back and look. But let me pop this next slide open. Okay, so right here. So this dude specifically, Mr. Romeo Ferreo, yeah. So this guy, there's a really long story about him. This is one of the people that they were supposed to reach out to, though, per brother Dominic Luther, who was interested in the cults of palmistry, astrology, and their associated magical powers. So apparently he sent some naughty letters to his boss and he had to be hospitalized. But I found this very fascinating. A native of Kenya Ferreo had typed letters to his former departmental head and personnel officer after being dismissed. Questioned about the letters by police, he said, "It is my master who commanded me to do it." Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. Now, this is Gerard Knoll. This is another person specifically that they were supposed to reach out to. Apparently, his brother is Lord Gainsborough. Yeah. And this guy was a bit controversial. And I'm going to look into this. I did a little bit of digging. I'm wondering if this is who was publishing the process of stuff. Yeah. Because this is also in Australia, and the only one that I could find was in Australia, and Kenneth McNaughton is from Australia, so I think I've maybe figured that out. And then here it says that he is a gently eccentric character the British upper class produces when it isn't producing the noisy, arrogant sort. He's Lord Gainsborough's brother and is now editor of the Catholic Herald, as well as an author. Yeah. So I thought that that was just kind of interesting. Now, this is what Francis Huxley was doing. Literally. Politics and voodoo. Politics and voodoo. Yeah? Do you think that he was doing anything really beneficial there? I don't think so, in my opinion. But right down here, yeah, Mr. Francis Huxley, son of Sir Julian, is an anthropologist who, having studied and lived among Brazilian Indians, turned his attention to Haiti. He stayed there 9 months, supported by the Parapsychological Foundation Incorporation of New York. He entered into the life of Haiti and participated in various voodoo rituals. And apparently, his book, The Invisibles, is a detailed account of his wanderings and contacts. Yeah, this isn't suspicious whatsoever. It says voodoo as a system is much bound up with the social and medical life of the Haitian Negro. It is notably open to free enterprise, for spiritual prestige is largely a matter of how many followers a priest or priestess can gather and keep. Capacity for ecstatic possession is important too, together with good fortune in curing folk of mental and physical troubles. Yeah, I don't think that he's doing anything good there, in my personal opinion. Now, this last little article here about cannabis from 1969. So, the Reverend Kenneth Leach, a curate at St. Anne's Church and a Church of England authority on drugs, is a member of the Council of Soma. Who knew that they had a Council of Soma? Right? Others are Mr. Francis Crick, Nobel Prize winner in chemistry, Mr. Francis Huxley, the anthropologist and son of Sir Julian Huxley, and three eminent psychiatrists. Yeah, this is so ridiculous. I suspect I would be rather more anti cannabis than the other people associated with Soma, but I feel this is a valuable research project. I think there are probably risks legally. Yeah. Let's see if Huxley says anything down here. And as a footnote that they added, Soma is the name given to a legendary Eastern drug which some believe may have become cannabis. Yeah. So I think that that's really interesting that they are literally in the beginning when they're going through those court records talking about the earliest letters that they're sending out where they're trying to get people involved in the church. That's who they're getting involved. I already told you guys, random people are not showing up there. These are people that are being funded with upper echelon money, with government money. and especially the parapsychological stuff, like, that was, I mean, not necessarily in its, earliest years, but it's still pretty early at that time, you know what I mean? Let me see. Do you think the process used the 70s Pentecostal movement to collect blackmail? Oh, Chris Walski, they were full in the Jesus movement. Absolutely. They were Jesus freaks, they were Jesus people. They had the God Squad and the Lost Soul Patrol. Like, it's completely ridiculous, and that's why when I read Satan's Lodge, I was like, man, I'm glad that we went through that because I can show you guys because I believe these victims. I believe them. And it makes sense to me now that I know that specifically that they were running around doing that. You know what I mean? Hello, Lutefisk Limeade. Hello, Petite Penguin, Thaddeus Max. I knew soma as an ancient term for the Amantia muscaria mushroom. God, I hope I said that right. Let me see. Dana, you need to audit your blue wrenches. What am I auditing? What's wrong? What's wrong with the blue wrenches? What's going on? That page just up, I think there I have to read. It is our opinion because of the use of 4 archetypes, they were everywhere. It was a control command operation. Yes, absolutely. I am 100%. That is what it is. Period. You can't change my mind. We've gone through this enough. I mean, as far as establishing the 4 deities, but they were absolutely in the Jesus freak, Jesus people movement. And eventually, we're not going to do it today. I'm going to save it, but some of you guys are really going to enjoy it because guess who was really, really involved in the Jesus people movement in California back in the day? Who I also found, I'm 99.9999% sure that I found their yearbook photo today. I'll give a little drum roll. Mr. Jeffrey Augustine, the Black Widow provocateur's old man. Oh, he was deep in the Jesus movement, so you guys already know where my brain is going, and I am absolutely going to be digging into that because, you guys already know how I feel. Yeah, meatball straight up OMMFG. Yeah. Dude, I can't even deal with it. Like the fact that it's him. I'm like, oh, it's truly a blessing. It's just a blessing from the Lord. It's great. Like, let the blessings rain down. I'm like, of course he would be. Because I did kind of like drop the hint, you know what I mean, about potentially, possibly, allegedly not using any names. Hi, Audra P. I just told everybody that Jeffrey Augustine was in the Jesus People movement, and I also think I found his yearbook photo. I'm pretty sure. And as far as the Black Widow art dealer provocateur, uh, I'm like this close, and I mean this close, guys. I've got like the street nailed down to maybe her being with Marianne de Grimston as the Black Widow art dealer provocateur. Apparently was formerly a lady of the night and lived over there. So it's gonna get real, real crazy, but this has been my suspicion like the entire time, you know what I mean? So I would not be mad if I wasn't wrong. And hello, Angie P. I'm so glad that you're here. All right, so let's look at Mother Mercedes Leo, Sister Mercedes Leo, whatever, so we can look at the actual Justine Glass. Oi, they got caught. Oh yeah, if you guys want me to show you his yearbook photo, I can. It's you can't tell me it's not him because it's him. But let's look at this. Okay, so you guys are. Oh no! Wait, we're going the wrong way. Okay, so that is her. So she's going as Mother Mercedes there. This is in Chicago. And that is Jonathan DePire on the left side. I already told you guys he came to my mind with the Arliss Perry thing. There's her as Flavia, and then there is her as Mother Mercedes in Chicago. So this was what I was looking for. because in the court records, she had actually written to a Justine Glass. That's where I got confused, and I'm glad that I went back through. So that's who she was trying to reach out to. That is an old photo. It says that's not Justine Glass, but and let me just show you where it is right here in the court records again. So right here. Yeah. So, where is it? Sister Mercedes Leah. So she's trying to get somebody to come and talk about interplanetary witchcraft, which is like, what the hell does that even mean? And then right here, Justine Glass. And thank you for agreeing to talk here at the process on Tuesday, November 12th, on the Sixth Sense and Witchcraft. I look forward to making your acquaintance and hearing you speak on this fascinating topic. So, right here. This was like the best one that I could find. Yeah. So there she is talking about witchcraft. Yeah. And she formed all these associations, including the Witchcraft Research Association in Britain, which is kind of interesting. Not in a good way, particularly, because I'm not into this, not telling anybody what to believe, but whatever. And she's just kind of going over the history of witchcraft here, blah, 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 right? Now, whoop, let me see. And then I just grabbed what I could. So that top one where it just says witchcraft, that was the earliest that I could find. And I also thought it was really interesting that that was in the Kensington district where the de Grimstons lived. So I got to try and kind of figure that out. You know what I mean? And over here, she said something super crazy about Hitler. Where was it? Hold on. God, what did she say? She was talking about like witchcraft and Hitler and the Luftwaffe. Yeah. In remote Wales, a group of our own witches retaliated by luring the Luftwaffe into RAF ambushes. Yeah. And then they said something, but Hitler was repulsed, as had been Napoleon and the Spanish Armada before him. This was our finest hour. Yeah, so, they're taking credit for something with Hitler there. I don't really care. I don't care what witches have to say. There we go. And obviously, she's just getting in the papers talking about the Ides of March. Now, right here, this middle one, Grimsby Evening Telegraph. Look at what she ends up talking about. How the earth heals everything. A story of biochemistry. Sounds literally like the process, right? Sounds like them just shape shifting. The exact same thing. And down here, her book, The Story of Fulfilled Prophecy, an excellent account of the whole business of seership. A chilling collection of weird examples of clairvoyancy. And, well, a fascinating new book on precognition. Yeah. So that's her. She's the big witch that they had already spoken to once in that letter, according to Mother Mercedes, whatever. And these people, we know what they were trying to do. We read the court records, but that stuff was so long ago, you know what I mean? And then we're trying to figure people out and we're not done figuring people out, but we need to go back through some of this stuff because I know I forgot some of it, right? And at least I'm not looking for a Justine Glass anymore. Now, here's the one craziest headline that came out of this lady, and we're not going to sit here and read it, but obviously, eventually, this process stuff ties into maybe JFK, the assassination of MLK. So I just thought that this news clipping was very, very bizarre, but I did want to show you guys. So, yeah. She saw Kennedy shot before it happened, right? So Justine Glass, that was what the story of fulfilled prophecy was literally about, right? Which is just really wacky to me. I don't, I don't understand what's up with that, quite frankly. It's just very strange. Let me look at the chat really quick. Let me say hello. That's the Mystery Master. Okay, there's something going on with people's cards. Hope you guys get it figured out. Shriners Grand Orient stuff. Let me see. Soil Lodge. Angie Power Disney, I don't particularly want to go. I mean, I guess I can. It is what it is at this point, but I don't really want to go into too many details because yesterday I'm trying to avoid the drama if at all possible. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure that there will be some drama incoming, and I am trying to avoid it. But it is a very complicated situation. I just felt the need to address it because the ex-Scientology community likes to paint it as like I'm a witch or something, and I'm pulling weird voodoo and grifting off of people, which I'm not. I'm just not. I'm not. I'm grateful for the coffees that people buy me. However, no, I'm not grifting. Now, I found this really crazy court case that Francis Huxley testified in, and I just wanted to show you guys because I found this really interesting, especially like they just used to put the craziest things in the newspapers. You know what I mean? So let me get that pulled up. Okay. So this is from The Guardian in May 1968. My wife put magic spell on me, says murder charge man. Yeah? So this is in London. And it says that he and his wife came to London the following year. He married her in Jamaica the year prior. She had left home from time to time after quarrels, and he had thought she was going with another man. In June, he had intercepted 2 letters from his wife to her sister in Jamaica and 1 from her sister to his wife. From them, he had formed the view that his wife had put an obia spell on him. As a boy, he had this spell put on him by an obia man, and his parents had to pay a large sum of money for a bigger and stronger obia man to remove it. Yeah? And right here. For the defense, Mr. Francis Huxley, Fellow of St. Catherine's College, Oxford, and a specialist in social anthropology, said the belief in Obeah among normal working people in Jamaica was practically universal. It was a belief which comes to a head in certain crises in life, he said. It was known that young women who wished to marry would put a substance in the food of a suitor. Mr. Huxley was handed 2 small scent bottles stated to have been found in Mrs. McDonald's handbag and which, according to the accused man, had been sent from Jamaica. These are sold to West Indians as love magic and can be bought in the West End of London, said Mr. Huxley. He said that the liquid varied and could be for love magic, property magic, or death magic. The trial continues today. Isn't that fascinating? I was like, he testified at a trial? That's like so crazy to me. Let me see. The dog told me to murder. Yeah, like I don't even I'm almost done with the book. I'm almost done. And I've drawn my conclusions specifically. It's just my opinion. He's right about the process. I don't care about the forensics, the ballistics, and I certainly do not think that Mr. Berkowitz recanting his statement recently holds any weight for anything, and I just don't. Um, Sorry, it is what it is, right? He's been in prison that long, and whether he took it back or whether he's stuck with his story, it doesn't matter. I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm not just looking at the Son of Sam. You know what I mean? Because there's so many things going on in the country at the time. Because I think that the process specifically, and there may be an argument for one of these. I think that the stuff in Boston specifically was one of their like Jesus people factions. That's what I think, straight up. Because when I show you the stuff about this priest, in my opinion, that's what I think it is. Because I showed you guys yesterday, remember 1971, the Jesus people are okay with the process, and the process people are okay with the Jesus people, right? Like I said, that's like a limited hangout. It's for public consumption. Exactly how many jailbirds recant, and like seriously recant, change their confessions. Like it doesn't matter. And obviously, Maury Terry's dead. You know what I mean? So, and I mean, there's people out here that really hate him. And that's okay. I'm not here to tell anybody what to think. I'm just stating my opinion. It is what it is. I don't I don't agree. I don't agree. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't care if there's fingerprints. I don't care. Because literally for like the people that are into Scientology or whatever, what was it? Ooh, was it Paulette Cooper? And I could be speaking out of turn. It might have been somebody else, but they like got the fingerprints, put the fingerprints on the typewriter, typed a bomb threat to Henry Kissinger, and sent it off because she like wrote a book about Scientology. Come on. You guys don't think that they can kind of fudge up some of the forensics? You know what I mean? Like, it's just silly to me, guys. Come on. If you want to think that, it's fine. I'm not going to be disrespectful to people who think it. I would love if that was returned, but I digress. Now, here is Paulette Cooper. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. When I found out that it was a letter to Henry Kissinger, I was like, that's completely insane. But Henry Kissinger's a war criminal, so it wouldn't have been the worst thing if they did send it. You know what I mean? But I was looking through all my old like process stuff that I had downloaded, and it was an article entitled When the Doom Came to Chelsea, right? And it's just talking about the OTO factions that were popping up all over the country. Um, Anton LaVey. They were talking about Lavinda, specifically a book that Lavinda had wrote. And so there was this one name that stuck out to me, and I was like, well, let me look this guy up. So I'm just pointing out some other satanic things that were kind of going on at the time, specifically, so I could show you guys, because apparently this dude, worked for the Pentagon, but was also involved in, what is it? Yeah, he was part of the OTO apparently, but I'm just going to show you guys because we know that there was so much weird stuff going on there at the time, like in California. So this is from the Desert Sun, Palm Springs, June 28th, 1980, right? So they're talking about Leary, obviously, because we're going to be coming back to the Brotherhood of Eternal Love. Yeah, right? Because that's where the drugs are coming from. Yeah, but look at that. This dude, when a major in the U.S. Pentagon named Grady McCurdy knocked on his door in San Francisco, whoever April is, yeah? McCurdy had met Crowley in 46. He said Crowley told McCurdy to go to San Francisco in 1967. There will be a lot of long-haired people who smoke hash and think like we do. Abel said McCurdy gave him several of Crowley's private documents, which Abel printed in books like the Book of Law and 777. Yeah? And then they're talking about, the Grateful Dead, blah, 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 blah. And it's groovy. Yeah, super groovy, man. Groovy, groovy, groovy. This was literally just the most random article that I found, but this isn't the only place that I've seen this dude's name. So was this dude in the Pentagon, and was he a part of the OTO? Because if that's the case, that's completely insane. Because then I find this guy here because it is most definitely the same dude. And of course, he's here in Florida. Color me surprised. And oh, look, he's taking a page from The Process, is he not? Creation Studies, the Creation Studies Institute in California. Creation science versus evolution. Yeah? Imagine that. Because that's the same dude. That's the same dude. And I'm going to, whatever. I don't even care about him right now, but I just wanted to show you guys because there's so many other things going on, whether people want to admit it or not. Like, oh, Terry Maury or Maury Terry named The Process, and XYZ other cults. Okay, well, again, I will ask like I did yesterday, was he aware of the healing ministry of the conquering king, the weird miracles ministry that I found, the Center for the Revival of Christian Faith, uh, the weird crap that they're doing with the I'll show you the hippie chick. I'll pop open the Timothy Wiley thing. Let me get it open really quick. Hold on. Cuz I'll show you her cuz she's a freaking wacko too. You know what I mean? The one lady, Reverend Marilyn. Yeah, Reverend Marilyn. She's all like, I'm super trippy, man. Like I'm really into whatever I'm into, right? Like I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it with these people. Um, but it is what it is. Maybe I threw it into frippies. Hold on 1 second. I see the chat moving. Hold on. Man, my sound and stuff screwing up earlier, like, really threw me off. Let me see. Yes, okay. Yes, Paula Cooper, Kissinger's mother should have swallowed. Yeah, I I normally would not agree with a graphic statement like that, but straight up Kissinger's mom should have swallowed or, spit. Cuz he's a disgusting human being, and I have no respect for him whatsoever. Man, I don't know what I did with her. I'm gonna have to look her up because she is not where I can see. Where are you, you little hoe? Because they're all still hoes, right? They're all still hoes. Hold on. Let me see if I threw her elsewhere. Did I? I know I did. Found her. Found her. I'll show you the one that just like really got on my nerves. Let me see. Because she just looks like she's so cool, right? She's so hip. She's like, I'm a mystic, man. I know all about it, man. I'm into all this spiritualism, man. And I'm just like, whatever, dude. God. I mean, she probably touches a little too much grass, if you know what I mean. Otherwise, I would say, like, go outside and touch some grass. But it's just these people, like, they don't realize the impact that they had on the culture, you know what I mean, as a whole. But let's take a peek at her because she's very, very hip. Yeah, super hip. Hold on. Oh, I hate this stupid PowerPoint. I've got to get better technology. Somebody has to teach me better technology because I'm literally using PowerPoint like I'm in high school. Okay, here we go. And okay, so there she is. All right, let's hope I don't slide over 10 times. Yeah. Yeah, so Marilyn Zweig Rossner, spiritualism proves there is life after death. Look at her, man. I mean, she does look kind of cool, right? But it also pisses me off because I know she's hanging out with the process. She is cool though. She does give off a vibe. Yeah. But see, there it is, the Spiritual Science Fellowship. Christianity tells us that life goes on after death. Well, spiritualism proves it. Dun dun dun. Okay. And here's another really crazy sentence right here. Zweig Rossner has used her psychic abilities to help treat schizophrenic children at the Montreal Children's Hospital. Yeah? I think these people should be allowed around kids because I don't. I absolutely do not. And there she is. That dress is so cute, and I could never pull it off. But spiritualist, warm and friendly. Fellowship welcomes all. Yeah. And there it is. Regular service of Montreal's Spiritual Science Fellowship in the science of spiritualism. Yeah, because they are just so enlightened. But seriously, like, why are they being allowed around children? Like, that's what I want to know. Because, I mean, what? You're basically, like, trying to do voodoo to kids? Yeah? That's what it says to me. You know what I mean? Let me see. Hi, James Hondo. The intense hatred some people have for Maury Terry has always puzzled me. He followed the patterns of evidence. I don't get why people hate him so bad. Like, I really don't. Like, I think he's kind of a dick, don't get me wrong, but I think he did a good job. And I don't blame him for getting frustrated. And it's very tragic how it ruined his life. But I mean, he was diligent at the very least. Misguided, sure. Uh, and I'm not here to like cherry pick apart XYZ that he lied about because I'm looking at my process people trying to identify them specifically. And there are some process people that he was looking at, and some of them are extremely suspicious. Yeah? Especially Father Dominic Luther. I had forgotten that he had written all of that stuff, that he was the one writing everybody, come and talk to us, come and talk to us. You know, interplanetary witchcraft, whatever. It's like, come on, man. Let me see. Though I dislike Tony Ortega, I do recommend his book on Pollock Cooper. I don't like Tony either. It makes it more nuts, his compromised position now. Dana Grass is my best friend. Let me see. Cousin It. Yeah, I guess sort of, yeah. Hey, Mr. Obvious, but to be honest, if you're covering Scientology full time, you have to deal with the gatekeeper. Folks hated Uncle Ted, but they can't say he was wrong at what he wrote. That's right, R.I.P. Uncle Ted. You tried to warn us. You tried to warn us. Yeah, and there's a great example of an MK Ultra victim, like straight up. You know what I mean? As far as Tony Ortega and covering Scientology, that's what I have to say about that. I, yeah, what is he actually covering? You know what I mean? Cuz I posted on my Twitter some of that lawsuit, her original filings. I'm not trying to like get derailed into current day Scientology. However, as far as that goes, if you read those court records, cuz I have my highlighted PDF copy where I'm like, how's this going to hold up in a court of law? That whole lawsuit's a joke. It's a joke. And if people went and read it and scrutinized it a bit, and I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer at all. But like seriously, nah. Nah. I'm sorry. That ain't how it's going. Scroll up where? Scroll up for what? What am I scrolling up for? Sorry guys, hold on. I don't know what I am missing here. I'm going to scroll back down because I have no idea what I'm missing. Hopefully I didn't miss anything bad. Okay, so in this book, Bring It for Court for the Lulz. Well, what are they going to do? Like Leo Ramini blocked me because I'm asking about best friends, right? And then all the Son of Sam people are wigging out, and I'm just like, why is everybody so mad? You know what I mean? But in the book, Satan's Lodge, they specifically identify two individuals. Now, this is the person that is in the beginning, where they're comparing the process specifically with what these people were doing. And I want to show you guys because this makes sense to me, especially what this guy was doing. He was, very unique as far as his mission underneath the Catholic Church. But give me 1 second. And he's in the same place as them, right? Okay, so this is Reverend Paul Shanley, the Gap Bridger. Yeah, and this is from the Boston Globe. That is October 25th, 1970. So he is called Boston's Street Priest. And he was the main speaker during a program on youth and drugs. He has a unique assignment among Catholic priests. Cardinal Cushing agreed several years ago to let him work among the youth of America in the hopes he could restore the adult-youth dialogue that in so many cases has been lost. He thought he had failed his assignment because authorities had not been able to meet the crises he warned them of. He said he could not blame the authorities, however, because he knew they acted according to the public will. Blah, 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 blah. Several years ago, he warned that thousands of American youths would become runaways. His prediction proved to be accurate, as did his prediction last year that militant factions in the country would begin a rash of bombings from coast to coast and declare war on the police. Well, that's not exactly what happened, but he says a new youth culture is about to emerge, and this time he hopes for better results by getting the public to force authorities to meet it. Yeah, and then obviously, the JCs are there, which I immediately think of. I immediately think of Gacy. I'm sorry. Anytime I see the JCs, especially around this time, I am straight up thinking of Gacy. I'm sorry. Because I was rewatching the video from yesterday and I had like kind of repeated multiple times my PTK conspiracy, and I never said it. So my conspiracy theory, and it is just a conspiracy theory at this point, it is what it is, right? But my conspiracy as far as the schism being for public consumption and Robert going off and doing his thing and them going off and doing their Jesus people, hippies, spiritualism, talking to dolphins, whatever. I think as Robert de Grimston sort of moved his way south, and we don't know exactly who he recruited, yeah, but I think that he was possibly involved or knew of, or the group that Henry Lee Lucas said was trading him in paramilitary stuff here in Florida. I think that that was a process faction as well, specifically. So it is what it is, guys. That is just my conspiracy. It is very like PTK esque, but now that I know how many factions they have, and we haven't even identified them all, that would make sense to me specifically because whether people want to agree or not, that is what Henry Lee Lucas had said at one point. Now, this is kind of sad. I wanted to show it though, because this Reverend Paul Shanley specifically, he was very big in Boston. He was very big in Boston, and here is a idea of his impact. So, praising the cardinal. Amidst all the charged rhetoric, pro and con, I am surprised that no acknowledgement has been given publicly to Cardinal Medeiros and his long-suffering delegate, Reverend Paul Shanley, for the quiet courage they have displayed in ministering for several years to sexual minorities in the Boston area. From the humble perspective of a non-Christian who happens to be straight, I stand in awe of these priests who have shown by their actions that they consider homosexuals to be a cut above what a well-meaning, but in my opinion, hopelessly misguided famous lady is reported to have labeled as human garbage. I saw that and I thought, well, obviously this guy was very popular. Yeah. I'm going to show you another thing where he's very popular specifically, because then it's going to get dark. So this is 1971 in the Boston Globe. 10,000 light candles to instill the spirit of teaching. Yeah. And he's up here. So Paul Shanley, the former Boston street priest who now operates a retreat center for social workers in Vermont, had much to say about drugs. The pharmaceutical industry in this country has participated in the killing of 140,000 young people from drug overdoses. That's 90,000 more that have died in Vietnam. They've helped to kill the kids by producing more drugs. In fact, about twice as many as are needed for the legitimate market. Yeah. And right here, let me see. Yeah, they're just talking about trying to switch up their approaches and get some of the rest of the clergy on board. So you can see that he was a very impactful person. He was a very impactful person. Now, before I pull up this last thing, let me pull up the book so that you guys can see the book. I'm not saying that the book is 100% right. I didn't read the whole thing, but I did read the stuff about the process, and I didn't read all of it either. I just read some of the beginning stuff. I believe these victims because I did read his citations. So let me go up to an earlier part where they quote them. Hold on one second, guys. Because he actually has some really interesting details about stuff that like the process was doing that I still have to confirm with Mike in Virginia if this is part of like Scientology, because it sounds like Scientology to me. But some of this stuff I didn't even know, and it makes sense. Let me see. Let me go up a couple more. Because we know that they were recruiting people, like straight up. We know that they were recruiting people. And I don't think that this book is super conspiratorial. I really don't. What I've read so far, they're saying, can I positively put them in the same room? Can I prove it? This is the same thing that I've been telling you guys since day one. And this person cites their stuff. So I believe these victims 110%. Seriously. Let me see right here. Let's go a little bit further. Hold on, because this stupid PDF has been pissing me off today. Dang it. It's going to freeze on me, isn't it? Yep. What are you doing? Okay, sorry, guys. My computer does not want to work with me today. That is so unfortunate. Well, I may just say, never mind. Here we go. The process. There we go. Okay, perfect. All right, let me show you guys. Anthony Medina, I'm going to expose my torturers. Hell yeah, we're out here fighting demons, man, straight up. Grady McCurdy met Crowley during World War II. He has a long history. I think if you search, you'll get some solid info. Thank you so much, Angelo COS1. I will totally look into him. Like, literally, guys, I just threw this stuff all together. That's why it's not, perfect. And you guys know that I'm, like, super freaking scatterbrained and the audio and stuff. And someone said that the image was mirrored. Clergymen say it's the end of time in the Mississippi River. Hold on, I can't read that whole thing, but it sounds like it's kind of funny, so maybe Mr. Obvious, type that again. Funny thing came to mind, the heroin trafficking at the end of the war. They used to traffic in remains returning from Laos. Yeah, well, yeah, we know that they were trafficking drugs. Yeah, absolutely, in the caskets. That's why war is, it's a celebration of markets, right? That's what war is. It's just a celebration of markets. Now, let's take a peek. So this is page 62, as you guys can see. And, I think that they give a very fair history. They touch on the, Manson stuff. Obviously, I think that it would be disingenuous for them not to. Is this page really not going to freaking show up? If this doesn't work, guys, I'm just going to give up and we're just going to go on to the newspaper, yeah? Because this PDF has been driving me nuts. Let's scroll one more page. Yep, it's not going to work. Too bad. Find the book. I downloaded it for free. I don't remember where I found it. I apologize. And if I find the link, I'll let you know. But let's go ahead and let's dig in because this guy hung out and recruited at the same coffee shop that the Process Church of the Final Judgment did in Boston around the exact same time. And we already know that they wrote in the paper that they had split up, right? The schism. We're splitting up. We're doing the Jesus thing. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah? So, I believe these victims. And I had never heard of this guy before. But this dude is a complete piece of shit. Excuse my language. Famed street priest preyed upon boys. Yeah? Boston's Catholics had never seen a priest quite like Paul Shanley. Handsome and charismatic, he wore his hair long, growing thick sideburns, and shedding his Roman collar for plaid shirts and jeans. He openly questioned church teachings, particularly its condemnation of homosexuality, clashing often and publicly with his superiors. Yeah? And he espoused radical views. Known as Boston Street Priest in the 60s and 70s, he created a ministry to alienated youth for runaways, drug abusers, drifters, and teenagers struggling with their sexual identity. Yeah, and obviously, I am not going to read all of this, but he did a lot of really terrible things. A lot of really terrible things to a lot of young people. And, especially targeting kids that are, struggling with their sexuality. Being a kid is hard enough. Being a teenager is hard enough. And then adding all of this other crap on top of it. It is the ideal group if you are a disgusting piece of shit to specifically predate upon. You know what I mean? His much publicized youth ministry attracted countless young people with its counterculture mission. Yeah? What does that sound like? Counterculture mission? Yeah? Sounds like the Jesus people. Yeah? There he is. You could literally like throw him into a I mean, I'm sorry, you could throw him into a Processian uniform and you would not be able to tell the difference, in my opinion. You just wouldn't. Like, seriously. Paul Shanley sent the note above to the mother of one of the children he allegedly abused. You, whose friend was a prostitute, who were crucified because you ate and drank with sinners, strengthen those adults who see Christ in young strangers, and preserve our migrant children from predatory adults. May we who work with children hear and heed in time. Ministry to alienated youth on the streets of Boston. Yeah? So isn't that lovely? Yeah? Not so much. Not so much. But it is what it is. You know, it's again, I'm not just looking at the process and, you know, Manson. I'm not just looking at X, Y, and Z. There are a lot of other things going on. And that's why I try to remind people, you know, I'm focused on the things that have been hidden and specifically crimes that have been hidden and the victims who have not gotten justice. Because I absolutely believe if you guys have seen the not everybody's on my Twitter. Let me pull it up. Let me show you the only accurate thing that I've ever seen put into publication about the process, which is really crazy because it comes from William Sims Bainbridge, and I can't find the actual article anywhere, probably because they took it out of publication. However, it is right here. Yeah. So I found a photo of it, and it is from 1979. Yeah. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek at this because this is what the process is to me. Is this. So that is remember Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge, you know, whose family passed away in a house fire, and he is calling for the revival. Isn't it interesting though that he presents it as his nightmare year in a bizarre satanic cult? Yeah. See if I can zoom in. Yeah, right here. One incident in which a cultist punched a pregnant woman in the stomach. Yeah. Let me see. There's ex Hells Angels who had been convicted of assault, boasted to his friends that he was going to beat me up. Bainbridge knew he was living on top of a powder keg that threatened to explode at any moment. From day to day, you never knew what was going to happen. I once saw a young man kicked down a flight of stairs, simply because he was standing at the top. The most violent member was a man who called himself Al Capone. He punched a woman in the stomach when she was pregnant. Another recruit boasted that he had killed 3 men. They were treated like slaves. They had a daily quota to meet. Let me see. Let me find the one part right here. Because I think that oh, crap. Sorry, guys. There we go. I think that I found the girls. Yeah. So wide open sexual practices drew new recruits, including teenagers and 2 youngsters who had been training to become Catholic nuns, and helped keep members from straying. Yeah? Isn't that lovely? The cult's constant obsession with violence and death corrupted the minds of almost all of its members and pushed many people towards madness. For example, one man, an auto mechanic, had a ring with 2 prongs on it. He claimed the prongs gave out a special energy that enabled him to control other people. The whole cult lived in this kind of fantasy world. Yeah. Isn't that fascinating that that's what he has to say about it? Because, in my opinion, I think that that's very accurate. Yeah? I think that that's super accurate. You know what I mean? People can disagree with me, and that's fine because I am well aware that there are still Processians out there. There are still sympathizers out there. Alessandro Papa, whatever, you know, he has his specifically the process faction in Italy. So I get it, but I don't care. I do not care. I think that these people are absolutely disgusting. I think that they're trash. And I think that them not being questioned, things not being clarified, I think that that is an accurate description. Period. Makes sense to me. Makes perfect sense to me. And for those who, don't know necessarily, and I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way, I just want to show you guys what the Parapsychology Foundation is. You know what I mean? Because that's like a little bit super noited as far as this. And yes, I'm using Wikipedia, whatever. But this is a nonprofit. I tried to find their paperwork and I couldn't, which really sucks. But obviously, I don't think they're going to be transparent, anyways. But uh, Garrett claimed to be a medium and founded the organization with the explicit purpose of scientifically proving the existence of the soul. Yeah? Trying to scientifically prove that. How do you think that's going to end for people? You know what I mean? Because someone had tagged me in specifically on Twitter today, and I was so glad that they had tagged the McClarys. Like, they had brought up the McClarys blog, and I was like, heck yeah, like, let me know what's up, man. That's awesome. That people are reading it and seeing that they go like super deep in their research. You know what I mean? But specifically, they were talking about the P scope that the process uses, their quote unquote lie detector, and the comparison of the E meter, and how they're very similar, and how all of this research that's going on with like parapsychology, Stanford Research Institute, Ingo Swann, XYZ. It's like, yeah, that is Scientology. That is the process. These facilities, these institutions were making this stuff happen. This is unethical, in my opinion. And that is just my opinion. And I don't care if people agree or not. But I think that this type of research is completely unethical. I think that it's gross. This whole like whatever, what do they call it when they're trying to do the remote viewing? You know what I mean? Because like that gets into Jolly West later on. I'm not into it. I don't respect it. I think that it's gross. They are trying to take away what human parts we have of ourselves. You know what I mean? And whatever one perceives their soul as, or whether you think you have a soul or you don't, I'm not here to tell you one way or the other. I'm not judging anybody. However, these people are not humanitarian. These people are not trying to help anybody. And this whole like parapsychology stuff that they're involved with specifically, because like remember the process said that like they could communicate with their thoughts, right? They said that multiple times. They said that they had like honed that in while they were in Stuhl. Yeah? So that's pretty weird to me. Sounds like some telepathic sort of like ESP. You know what I mean? And did they really hone it in Stuhl? Or were they honing it in London? Because let's not forget that the British Medical Association was trying to come after them because they were making people sign waivers. If your mental health deteriorated, it wasn't the process's fault. And that was technically why they went to Stuhl. So they say. Yeah? Well, I mean, they don't say it, but the court records proved it, right? Because I showed you guys that British medical article where they talk about it, where people were having a really bad time with the process. Yeah? A real bad time. And Scientology does the same thing, man. They do. It is what it is. Because, like, obviously, eventually, again, this is all going to circle back to Scientology. You know what I mean? We're going to be getting into the current day stuff. And we are. And the last thing that I want to show you guys, if you did not look in my community section, and hopefully this will work. So I would ask everyone to just put on your noited glasses for like 5 seconds. Most of you that are here are pretty noited, because I do think that this video that Mike and Virginia shared a long time ago, I think that David Miscavige is telling the truth about what the process was doing. And let me just pause it and let it load, and hopefully this will work. Okay. All right, let's see. Hopefully this will work, guys. It's a really short clip, so let's try it. Okay, and I've got the volume up. All right, let's give it a shot, yeah?
Probably the best example of the vicious nature of these false reports is a document written by David Forsythe, who was posted in IRS Intelligence Branch. The report was written in 1974 and was an attempt to smear the church internationally and wipe it out. At the time the report was written, the church had coincidentally purchased a ranch in Mexico as a boarding school for the children of Sea Org members in Southern California. In other words, the ranch was occupied by 6-year-olds. But in Forsythe's report, he stated, a group of Scientologists is currently training in guerrilla warfare near the town of Oxtal on the Yucatan Peninsula. Slight alter is, those kids must have really been something.
Yeah. So do you guys catch my drift about that? Because I think that that's what they were doing. I think that they were doing paramilitary training. Seriously. And if you haven't read Program to Kill, that's fine. Hello, Hypatia. I'm so glad that you're back. I screwed up like this entire stream, so whatever. But as far as like the paramilitary training, that would make sense to me, because if we have Robert de Grimston heading towards the south and we have other factions, because I told you guys, I found a bunch of stuff with the healing sisters in Florida, right? And they're out here healing, but they're also talking about freaking necromancy, man. So if they're in Florida and they're doing this, and they're in Miami, their headquarters are on Biscayne Boulevard. So were they possibly involved in the satanic paramilitary group that Henry Lee Lucas was talking about? Maybe. Maybe. Why would that be so crazy to people? Why would that be so hard to believe? You know what I mean? It makes sense to me. But yeah, this whole like stream got totally screwed up. I'm super embarrassed. I apologize to everybody if everybody has still stuck around. I appreciate it. I will like do a pre-recording next time and make sure that like my audio is not screwed up and that my camera is not running everything backwards, because that's never happened before, but whatever, fuck my life. I am probably just going to keep identifying people. I have gotten a lot of information, a lot of great leads over the past few days, so I don't want to make any promises specifically about what I am going to cover, because yeah, I'm going to come on, we're going to talk about the dolphins. But right now, the dolphins aren't really my focus. Oh, and you know how I can make it up to you guys? Thank you, Carl Hassel. I appreciate you. I know it all worked out. I know that like whatever. I know, like, I'm human. I feel bad, you know, because I know I come on here and I'm kind of like anyway, but hold on. I think I know how to make this up to you guys. Let me find it. I'm going to show you Jeffrey Augustine's yearbook picture. Hold on. Hold, please. Hold, please. Uno momento. Let me make it up. Yeah, let me make it up to you guys. Tell me it's not him, man. Tell me it's not him. Hold on. Because when I saw it, I was just like, bruh. And I hate using that word. I don't think that that is an appropriate word for a woman to use, but bruh. Come on, tell me now. Yeah, all right. Let me see. I straight up think that this is him, dude. And I also found, well, I don't want to tell you guys, but anyways, I'm not trying to be secretive, but yeah, anyways, here, let's make it up to you with Jeffrey Augustine's yearbook picture. And share. So there he is. Yeah? Tell me that that's not him, dude. Tell me that that's not him. That is him. That is absolutely him. I have one other picture. But that is him, because I have a couple other younger photos of him. But there is Mr. Jeffrey Augustine, the husband of the Black Widow art dealer provocateur. Yeah. That's him, dude. Yeah, for sure. Tiffany. And yeah, LSD dolphins. Yeah, and again, let's not forget same dead eyes. Dudley. Whew. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Sorry, bro. Not a fan. Dude is so sus. I figured out why, we couldn't find anything about the Kincaids. Because it looks like old boy be getting pimped out to run a business. You know what I mean? I found all the business records, so that's really interesting. But we'll save that. But yeah, I'm gonna be looking very deep into the Jesus people movement because old Augustine was a Jesus freak. He was a Jesus person. And if I can get the Black Widow art dealer provocateur back with Marianne, I'll give up. I'll be done. I'll say that's it. I proved it, but I'm close. This has been my suspicion for months though, guys. You know what I mean? But I got to be able to prove it. But it's getting pretty strong. And now I'm just glad that I have I know he's a real person. You know what I mean? Now I know he's a real person. He went to high school. That's his high school photo. That's his yearbook photo. So we'll leave it at that. Oh, and thank you, Coop Films. I appreciate it. And tell her thank you very, very much. Yeah, I will make sure that this runs smoother next time, guys. Thank you for being patient with me while I fix the audio. And if there's anything in my streams that I am wrong about or that you have a question about, you want to clarify, whatever, please feel free to reach out to me because I know that I'm banging through all of this information. You know what I mean? And it is kind of all over the place, but I'm just, again, trying to get a lot of this up for posterity. But I felt like I needed to sort of bring this back into focus of being funded by the government, unethical research, in my opinion, who the process was involved in, because hell no, we're never going back through those court records ever again. You could not pay me, but I said I was going to go back and double check if I missed anything, and I still have a lot of work to do there specifically. And then kind of showing the impact of other victims, because I think that is a big deal and that cannot be forgotten, because what that man did. And like I said, I'll find the link to the book because literally I found it online and I was like, oh boy, here's another stupid conspiracy book, right? Because it was the Process Church of the Final Judgment, helped contribute to the start of ritual abuse within the Catholic Church. And I was like, that's a bit of a bold claim. That's a little over dramatic. You know what I mean? But now that I know that they were running through the Jesus circuit and in that area, it makes a lot of sense to me. So thank you guys for your patience. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys soon.